You're watching Masters in Trading Live with Jonathan Rose.
Hello guys, what's up? It's Jonathan Rose. Welcome to Masters in Trading Live. Masters in Trading Live, I get on here every day. The market's open, 11 o'clock Eastern time. Go over the market, share some thoughts, and once in a while, we'll even share our trade of the day. You'll notice a little bit different background this week. I was traveling out to my corporate partners, but I'm back home in lovely Chicago. Chicago's lovely now, but it's going to get really cold really quick. So I'll say lovely Chicago now, but it's really not so lovely. What are we going to talk about today? Got a bunch of topics. We're going to talk about the Qs, the NASDAQ. I want to talk about the time frame for options. ODT options are exploding. All that means those are one-day options or short-term options. The opposite of short-term options is long-term options. What are long-term options? Those are leaps. Leaps are long expiration options. ODT are 1 day short. And then in between, you have the week options, you have a month options, whatever you want. They're all the same thing. They're just options. They're different time frames. So today I want to go over ODT options, options with 1 day hold, 2 day hold. I want to go over the banks a little bit. And then there is a phenomenal, like literally like a back the truck up type of trade that I want to share with you guys as well. So let's go over to the slide deck. I'll meet you over there. I'm going to play with my sounds right now and then head over there. Okay, ready? Here I go. All right. I have been dying to play with those sounds. I have you in front of the Qs. Okay. Here is what the Qs looked like yesterday. Yesterday, I have you on a weekly. Okay? And this is something that we look at often. We want to simplify weekly highs and weekly lows. Last week's low was the exact same as yesterday's low. So on Masters in Trading Live, that's where we said this is going to be the support. This is going to be the support. Okay? Keep it nice and simple, guys. Let me go on a live chart. And let me show you exactly what the Qs have been doing and what we expect next. Okay, the Qs right here. So the low 448.19, yesterday's low 449.82. This low here was 448. So massive support, but then the weekly high 473. The weekly high is 473 of last week. I doubt we get above last week's high. What is this? 473 is going to be massive resistance. Okay? I'll talk about that a little bit more once I pull up the option chain. 473 resistance in the QQQs. Now, I want to walk you through the growth of 1 day options because they're growing so fast that we need to pay attention. Why do we want 1 day options? Let's talk about that. Well, 1 day options can protect yourself from a sudden spike in the volatility indices. Therefore, if the market goes down, you're all of a sudden protected. But let me make 2016, ODT options were just 5%. In 2023, 1 day or 0 day options, I'll say 0 day plus 1 day, 53%. Okay? Growing so fast that that's where we're going to want to be. That's where we're going to want to see if we could take advantage of some of this opportunity in these short-term options. Here's another chart going back to COVID. When the SPX launched ODT options right here, you can see just just the big separation in the growth of that short-term options relative to equities and relative to ETFs. Here's interesting. This is throughout the day. If we look at how the premium holds up into options, into these one-day options. So it's ODTE. Why is this writing so weird? Okay. ODTE, the morning. And here is in the afternoon, 2 o'clock. So on FOMC days, premium stays in these option contracts throughout the entire day. And as soon as FOMC is released, premium gets absolutely annihilated. When there's not very much material news, options just slowly decay throughout the day unless we get to see some really big movement. Also, what I want to show you is the maturity of these markets. Maturity, the maturation of ODTE options. Because in the past, going back to 22, the options market were 40 cents wide. So a market maker might have been 20-cent bid at 60 cents. So they would buy for 20 cents and sell for 60 cents. Market makers are getting all fat and happy then. But now the market is closer to 20 cents at 35 cents. That is the maturation of the market. This is getting to be more friendly for the retail trader. This is more friendly for the professional. Things are moving over to the side of the retail trader. Yesterday, Dan here, and I'm going to pull up the option train as I talk about what Dan did, but Dan followed the advice yesterday and was able to jump in with a ODTE QQQ trade. So let's look at this now. And if we're going to look at ODTE, 0 days until expiration is right here. These expire today. Let's look at the 1 day till expiration. These expire tomorrow. Let's get some more strikes on here. What Dan was able to do in the QQQs, yesterday he bought the 465 calls for 290 and was able to sell them out for 683 today. Now, Dan did that based upon that line in the sand from yesterday, right? We had that pretty straightforward line in the sand from yesterday where we had that support at 448. Well, now we have resistance at 473. So traders looking to take advantage of this, you could potentially the 470s, the 469s, the 468s. So we're not going to make this an official trade. I don't know, we could make this an official trade. Either way, resistance at 473. I encourage you to paper trade these. Just write it down. 469, you can buy these for $219 for a one lot. You get to hold them until the close tomorrow, and that's playing off that 473 resistance. You can see when it works out, you can make a nice handsome profit like Dan here, able to make about 150% in a short amount of time. This is live. Traders consider the 469, the 468, something like that. This is a darn good trade, guys. I like this trade. Here's something I was looking at yesterday. Kind of surprised me a little bit as I was going through the banks. And what I noticed, I got Goldman Sachs up here. I got Citigroup right here. And I got JP Morgan right here. We have our expected move lines. Look at the banks. They are all right by their expected move. So are they all cheap? No, never. Everything can't be cheap. Everything can't be expensive. Whenever you're looking at value, everything has to be cheap or expensive relative to something else. You need to tie something down. You can't have everything in the banking sector cheap. So if we value these and we try to figure out where is their value, what I suggest is look at the XLF. The XLF is an ETF for banks. That's what I have here. The XLF is the white line. So if you want to look at banks and if you want to value banks, look at the XLF and look how these banks have moved relative to the XLF, the ETF that comprises the banks. As you see here, I have it on a weekly going out 3 or 4 years back to 2022. The XLF JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, if you look at it on a longer time period, they're all right about the same. So I think they're pretty fairly valued. So as much as I grabbed those screenshots of the banks, thought that would be interesting, I changed my mind. I'm not that interested because of this weekly. They all look fairly valued. Let's move on. That ODTE trade is a pretty cool trade. I like that trade. ODTE options are growing fast. There's a lot of interest in them, especially as we rally. It's a cool place to hedge your trading account if you so choose. Here's the trade that I think is phenomenal. Okay? Gold versus silver. This is the oldest historical relationship going back to like 1850. They have charts that will chart gold versus silver. I go back to 2005 on this chart. What's going on here? Sell gold and buy silver if you want to take advantage and make money on this move. Well, down here, you're buying gold. And you're selling silver. After COVID right here, silver got so inexpensive. This is actually the biggest trade, I think, in Masters of Trading history, getting long silver. Well, right now, gold is so expensive relative to silver, historically, just unbelievably expensive. My trade that I like, and I want you to figure out different ways to do it, back the truck up, buy silver. What a phenomenal opportunity right now to get long silver. Let me hop on here live because we have our all access group, and in our all access group, we look at different divergence type trades. Gold versus silver is a 10 as far as a divergent type trade. Everybody in all access, we're going to dig deeper into this trade, and I want to share exactly how we're going to play it this time around for everybody else. Thanks for watching. My name is Jonathan Rose. I'm the owner of Masters in Trading.